track signals on the Baldy Palms Railroad. Coming up next. This episode, I'm going to be installing some track signals on the upper loop of the Baldy Palms Railroad. These are basically just track block signals. Once the train enters the block, the signal will turn red and will remain red until the train exits the block. Once the train exits the block, it will go from yellow and then back to green, showing that you have a clear block. The signals that I've installed or will be showing you that are from Z-Stuff, and the model number is DZ-1050. This is a 3-light signal, and I got these a few years ago, and I think these things are really easy to put in, and I'm using these on a shunting system, so where the track is shunted by the train. I'll show you a little later on how I installed the unit, but this is the first one. So if you look at it right now, I'm going to simulate a train entering the block, and now the light should turn red, and the light will remain red until the train exits the block. Removing the short there, you'll see that the signal block will go from yellow and then it'll go back to green again. So that's what I'm going to simulate there, and I'll show you on the other area where I'm going to install the other track signal on the other side of the block. So let's get started. Okay, so this is the location of the next signal block signal. Again, this is the DZ-1050 3-light signal. What it comes with is 4 wires out there. And what's so great about this one is you can hook it up directly to track power if you want. And that's the method I chose. So I'll show you in a little bit how I hooked it up to track power. Pretty simple. Track power, red to hot, black to common. And the way we get the signal to operate is we're going to install a insulating coupling or insulating joiner. And I'll show you real up close, but I've installed a insulating joiner here on the outside rail from here all the way around the back side of the loop until the other side of the block where the other signal is at. So what I'm going to hook up on this side of the track, which is the signal block side that we're going to control, we're going to attach the yellow wire to the outside rail. And I'll show you how I did that. So I'm going to be mounting this on a pedestal right here. I got the pedestal all set up and painted. I'm going to be mounting it here shortly. And then I'll come back here and I'll show you how I hooked up the wires. Super simple. And I added a little bit wire to the switch or to the signal, and I insulated it with a little shrink wrap. What you want to do is offset your splices so they would fit. All the splices are going to fit into the 1/4-inch drip line, which I'm going to use as my my conduit. So we're going to go ahead and slip everything through here. I'm going to go ahead and mount my signal here a little bit on the loose side. Just using regular old track screws to mount it. Okay, now I got all my wires hanging out here. I'm going to run a little conduit. I'm really close to the junction box here, so I really don't need a whole lot of conduit. Just maybe 6 inches or so to get over there. Okay, so I added the wires to track power. I just the black wire to the common, red wire to hot. So now I have the yellow wire here. This is the wire that's going to go on the insulated rail. So I actually have the outside rail right here is the insulating rail. So this wire is going to be hooked up to this rail. So let me show you how I do that. Okay, so what am I going to do on this? I'm going to strip this wire here a little bit, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of flux on the back side of the rail right here, and take the soldering iron there and heat up the track a little bit and put a little dot of soldering on it. And then I'm going to do the same to the wire here, and then I'm going to hook them together and solder this rail to the back side of the rail here, low, so the wheel flanges won't be obstructed by the solder on the back side. So now I'm going to clean up the back side of the rail here. So you want to get all the oxidation off and all that first, and then what we're going to do is put some flux on there. Any old flux would do. This is actually a pipe flux for copper pipe, but works fine for me. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off the back end here. I use a Dremel with a little wire brush. Okay, so I got that done. So I'm going to take a little flux right here, and I'm going to get this wire out of the way, put a little dab right here. So now I'm going to heat up the iron and put that on there. All right, so there's a close-up of me shunting the wire onto the rail. So now I'm going to take a little alcohol and clean up the rest of that flux. Tuck the wires in a little bit, and let's give it a little test drive. See how these signals work. We're all set to give it a try. Okay, we got the signal installed. We got a hard green. I'm going to move the locomotive into the block, and you'll see the light turn red. Kind of hard to tell in the daylight here. So once the train leaves the block, it will go from yellow back to green again. So I'm backing the train back out of the block, turn from yellow, and then back to green again. So there you have it.
The DZ-1050 offers 3 wiring options, but the signal really only needs a red wire connected to power and the black wire connected to the common. It also comes with an infrared LED that you can simply put it on the track, and when the train drives by, it will initiate the signaling from the infrared LED. I chose to use option C, which uses the input from the yellow wire to control the sensor. Looking at the real live wire schematic, here you can see that the red goes to the center rail of positive, the black is going to the common, and the yellow is going to the insulated area behind the insulating rail joiner you can see circled in green. Again, this is option C, so when the train enters the block, it gets the sensor from the yellow wire, initiating the signal to turn red.
All right, so this was a little installation of the DZ-1050 triple light O-scale block signal from Z-Stuff. Again, showing you how to hook it up. Pretty easy to hook up. I'll leave some more notes and instructions in the header of the video. Your comments are welcome. Hey, if this is your first time over here, hit the subscribe button. I got a lot of other videos on the building of the Baldy Palms Railroad. And thanks for stopping by. Those of you longtime subscribers, again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.